Hey guys, what's up? What's good? What's good? And what is life, guys? So, today I wanted to make a different type of video. So, we all know that getting into our spirituality and getting on the healing journey is, it's becoming trendy and things like that. And that's cool and everything, but everybody thinks that healing and getting on your spiritual journey is all about, crystals and meditation and your spiritual baths and all of those other little things. And that's cool too. Like, those are, some beautiful aspects of the spiritual and healing journey and things like that. But it's not exactly all that is needed for the journey. So if you are seeing this video, it's because you guys have participated in my Instagram post, where if you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me at RICKI_RICARDO. And that is where I talk about, spiritual stuff, and I do live tarot readings and things like that. But I had asked a question in my story because I wanted to share more of the in-depth or the other side of spirituality that people don't talk about. And my question was, what is the most hardest part about starting your spiritual journey? And I thank all of you guys that participated in answering, because now I'm going to share your stories and experiences here. So boom. So one of the answers I got was honesty. People do not talk enough about being honest, and people feel like it's just holding other people accountable and, all those other different things. But spirituality is all about accountability, right? And so a lot of the times we don't know how to be honest with ourselves in order to have those healthy boundaries that we need, or saying, hey, I don't like this, and or hey, I don't even know why I thought like this before, and that's not really how I think, or that's not really how I feel, or I thought I was into this, but I'm not into this anymore. Like, people aren't exactly honest anymore with themselves about where they are in their journey. Like, oh, I'm over that. Like, I'm not hurt by that anymore. When in actuality, something can hurt us, and we believe if we get over it faster, or if we just forget about it, or if it didn't kill us, it made us stronger, type of thing. Well, to a degree, but it also holds trauma. And trauma can imprint on us bad responses, whether that is negative self-talk, or not knowing how to set boundaries because we want to be a people pleaser, because we have like abandonment issues or things like that. Like, honesty does play a big part when it comes in starting your healing journey and your spiritual journey, because you have to be honest with yourself about things that no longer serve you, even if it's the very things that you enjoy, or the very things that you love, or the very people you love and like to hang out with. So honesty for a lot of us is hard. Like, for me, I had to get really honest with myself to say, do I really want change? Do I really want better for myself? Do I even believe that I can have better for myself? So honesty was one of the biggest points for a lot of people. Someone also said knowing who to trust to learn from, and figuring out how to learn, and figuring out where to start. Now this is a lot of people's kind of Achilles heel a little bit, like what's holding them back from actually starting their spiritual journey. Because as we all know, spirituality isn't exactly new, but it has now brought its way back mainstream. And with it being so mainstream and so trendy, and everybody wants to, read cards, and everybody wants to make candles, and everybody wants to make waist beads and sell crystals and all of these other different things. Like, and that's cool, because some people are realizing that it is now becoming a profitable margin. But so many people are forgetting or misinformed about the fundamentals and traditional fundamentals and foundations that started the practice, right? So learning who to trust from is a big thing. So what is best for you to do when starting your spiritual journey is using your discernment, or your intuition, so to speak. If it doesn't feel good for you, then it's not for you. What I tell a lot of people is to vet your people of contact. Like, it's just like making a new friend, or making like, you can tell your people's energy speaks before a person does. Like, a person's presence, the way they talk, the way they speak, how they treat other people, how they conduct business, how they carry themselves, right? You definitely want to be able to look at a person and be like, I know this is for me. I like what they're saying. I like how they're teaching. Or how some people would say, take the meat and spit out the bones. Sometimes you're only meant to get one thing from a person, or you're only meant to experience people for just a certain amount of time, and then they're off doing whatever they're doing or whatever it is that you're desiring to do. So what I would tell you first is to build your trust within yourself, and that's where the honesty comes in. Do you make the best decisions for yourself? Do you second guess yourself? Do you feel like anytime something good happens for you, you kind of self-sabotage it a little bit? So honesty and then knowing who to trust and following your discernment to that degree also go hand in hand, because like I said, if you don't trust you, you're not going to trust the decisions that you're making. You're not going to trust that you're making the best decisions for yourself. And then you're just going to fall subjective to anybody that's looking to make a quick buck. Now, I know some people are just like, oh, you're not supposed to be charging for things like that. But in actuality, you're not exactly paying the person per se. You're paying for the service and their gifts and their time and the tools that they need to acquire in order to help you. Because some people go to shamans and mandibos and priests and priestess for cleansings and things of that nature. They have to acquire certain, tools and different things for the rituals and things that they're participating in to assist you. So you're paying for the service. So I just want to let people know when it comes to that, right? Figuring out how to learn. Now, again, this goes again with being honest with yourself and knowing yourself. Excuse me, I had something in my eye. Jesus. So that goes along with, again, knowing yourself and how you learn. I myself am a kinetic learner. I learn hands-on. But if I'm watching something and being observant, I'll then try to mimic it. Because for me, kinetic energy and the way that I learn, once I get my hands on it, it becomes muscle memory. So I'm ingraining it into my memory of my body and the movement of doing something. So now it becomes like a habit, like, things like that. So you have to, again, know yourself. But that's going along with like shadow work and journaling and spending a good deal amount of time by yourself, because what that does, and it's not exactly isolating yourself, it's more so like, hey, I done hung around this person, I done hung around my family, I done hung around with my friends, I done hung around with my man or my woman, I done been around these kids or whatever the case may be, and everybody's energies, everybody's opinions, and everything is on to me, and now I don't know who I am. I don't know if my thoughts are really my thoughts. I don't really know if I'm just doing these things because I genuinely like them, or am I doing it because the people around me are doing them. You know how they say you are the company that you keep? Well, that in fact is true. Who you hang around, you then start to embody their workings and their doings and what they do. So like, if you are hanging around 5 married couples, you are bound to be the 6th. If you're hanging around 5 millionaires, you're bound to be the 6th. If you're hanging around 5 bums, you're bound to be the 6th. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, the point is, start surrounding yourself with people that are on the same wavelength as you, that have the same intentions as you, and want to do more and acquire more from themselves as you do, because then like attracts like. So you are the people you surround yourself with, okay? And so knowing how you learn will then best serve you with who you need to be around. The saying is, when the student is ready, the teacher will show, right? That actually rings true. When spirit, creation, God, Gaia, whatever, however you see fit for the name, when you are ready for ascension, or you're ready for something new, or you're ready for a promotion, you're ready for a new car, or anything like that, spirit then provides you with the opportunity to seize the moment, right? So with knowing how you learn, then you're going to start attracting and aligning and seeing and having opportunities to be in the room with people that are able to teach you in a way that you best receive. So again, that goes along with knowing yourself, right? And then figuring out where to start. Listen, this is tough for everybody, because including myself. Some people, they go for their diet first, and then they transition to veganism and herbal life and herbs and medicines and things like that, and natural remedies. And then some people start with just their exercising and getting their body right and getting their mind right. Some people start with meditation and things of that nature. It's all about where you need the love the most, right? And for me, I tell anybody, or I would tell anybody, shadow work is where you start, because you have to first know where you lack. It's like giving yourself, it's like grading yourself, taking yourself through school. But the school is you, the university is you, right? You are the student of you consciously in your mind. You are the student of you, and you're going in depth, and you're kind of going through the subjects, which the subjects will be: how is my mindset, how is my health, how is my body, how are my eating habits, how do I treat people, how do I treat myself, is my home clean, like, do I live a cluttered lifestyle? Am I depressed? What are my feelings? Where's my emotional state? You know what I'm saying? What are the experiences do I have? Am I fulfilled in life? What are my finances looking like? You know, those type of things would be the subjects. And then you just go through, give yourself some time. And that's why I say that being by yourself definitely does help, because you're only forced to deal with you. You're only forced to see you and your inadequacies or shortcomings, so to speak. With that being said, you can then see where you need the love the most, and that's where you start. So like I was saying in the beginning of the video, people don't understand that trauma actually, if we don't release it and address it and figure it out and kind of come to it at a head and face it at face value, to say, hey, I didn't like how this person treated me because they made me feel like I wasn't good enough. And now that I'm an adult, because I was so used to feeling like I'm not good enough, now it shows up in my adult life as coming second best, and not wanting to go after those opportunities that I feel I deserve, that I know I'm overly qualified for, or taking risks because I don't feel like I'm good enough to have these experiences. But people don't realize that that's a trauma response to something that happened to them in childhood, right? So I definitely recommend journaling and shadow work to be the best place that you start, so that you can kind of see where you are emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, and financially, so that you can then see, okay, this is where I need to start, like getting to the root of the issue, so that you can gut it and then start the healing process, is literally what I would tell people. All right, and so another one was figuring out where to start. This next one says staying focused and starting over again. Listen, I myself am a big start over. Okay, I will start over as many times as I can think. But the thing about it is realizing how bad do you want it. And again, that does come with shadow work. And the spiritual journey or the healing journey is not an overnight process, because you're always evolving, you're always growing. Times are evolving, times are changing, and you too are going to change with it. The more that you realize how much better you deserve, and when you're coming face to face with the bare minimum that you were allowing people to treat you, or the bare minimum you were treating yourself, or not activating in your full potential, or going after something with your full confidence, you then begin to realize, like, damn, I was kind of selling myself short a little bit, or wow, I must have been in a bad place if I thought someone like you was a friend, or somebody like you possibly could have loved me. Look how you treat me, look how you talk to me. Oh my God, like, I would never, like, I'm so glad I'm not in that space anymore. Wow, I used to do those things. That's crazy. I had to be in a really bad mind space, or a really dark place, to engage in these type of activities, right? But staying focused is all about discipline, and that too goes along with the shadow work, and then realizing I deserve better. So when you change your mindset about the healing process, or the spiritual journey, so to speak, and stop looking at it to be like this overnight quick fix, and oh, I'm going to say these affirmations and everything's going to be all right, or I'm going to walk around with these crystals and everything is going to be all right. No, it's not going to work like that. We are still having a human experience. So we still are, fleshly beings within this lifetime that are going to have their ups and downs. And life does happen. There are things that are completely and utterly out of our control that will, come on as seasonal depression, or, you just had a bad day. Things didn't go your way, or you haven't learned emotional management just yet. So, you let your feelings get in the way and you react rather than think logically and then respond. You know what I'm saying? And then the starting over. Sometimes people feel like, oh my God, I'm never going to get this right, so I'm just going to quit. And that happens. Let's be real about it. It happens. People quit. People stay down for too long. And I'm not saying don't take your breaks, because your breaks are necessary. necessary so that you can recharge and rejuvenate and come back with fresh eyes or a fresh mindset, or just refreshed overall to a circumstance, situation, and or problem, right? So starting over will happen, but as long as you stay consistent within the spiritual journey and you are dedicated to growing, then you never really lose. You're never really giving up as long as you stay diligent. Always take your breaks, but never stop and never quit, because it is an ever going process. As long as you still have breath in your body, it's not over until it's over, if you get what I'm saying, right? And then this last one is cultivating discipline and patience. Listen, patience and Ricky sometimes do not belong into the same sentence, so this does not have is in between them. I'm just keeping it clear with y'all. I am not the one for patience, okay? I cannot stand when things don't take as quickly as I would want them to, or I'm not processing something as quickly as I feel I should be doing. But that's where the whole trust the process comes from. Because Rome wasn't built in a day, or when you're learning a new skill set or a new craft. Like for people that started clothing lines, they didn't know what they know now, and it wasn't an overnight process. They had to research. They had to vet a couple vendors. They had to acquire the assets as far as the clothing, the money, in order to get everything, dedicate some time to building the website and making sure it's exactly to their liking. And then marketing, they had to market their product, and then they had to sample the product, and then they had to get the inventory for it, and then they had to actually work out the kinks when it comes to this technology of learning how to ship stuff and getting a shipping process together before they became these $1 million or even hundreds of thousands of dollars or even thousands of dollars in profit, so that they can be who they are. When it comes to anybody's business or wanting to be content creators, we first had to research things. We first had to buy cameras. We had to buy the equipment, ring lights. We then had to build our social media up, getting the YouTube channel, getting the email, and then we had to actually make the content. Then we had to start editing, and it's a process, if y'all get what I'm saying and where I'm going. It's not gonna be an overnight success situation, and it may seem like that now that we're in the age of technology where people can go viral at any given time depending on the algorithm and what videos were pushed and how many people see it. But it's a matter of realizing that there are going to be times you're not going to have it all together. There are going to be times you're not always going to know the answer. And everything is not going to happen as quickly as you want it to, simply because you very well may not be in a headspace emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, to be able to not only get what you're asking for, but to retain what you're asking for. You have to be in a space to receive, you know what I'm saying, and be able to manage what it is that you're asking for. So for me, the hardest part of my spiritual journey was coming to a space of not feeling like I was crazy. I had to really get out of the negative self-talk. I was feeling like I was crazy because I actually started out reading cards after I had a stay in a psychiatric ward, because I felt like I couldn't talk to anybody. I felt like I didn't have any friends. I didn't feel like I had anybody in my corner, and I was always a little different anyway. So I picked up cards for myself, and once I started to understand them, I was like, whoa, like, wait a minute, this is kind of freaky, right? So I had a lot of negative self-talk going on with me. Like, it was just, oh, you're a freak, and what are you doing, and oh my God, people are going to think you're crazy, and what the heck? Like, I had the worst negative self-talk. So for me, I had to figure out where that stemmed from and why I felt like I wasn't good enough, or why I felt like I was weird or I was crazy or anything like that. Even though I knew I wasn't, there was still moments where I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was times and moments where I felt like that, and then I had to realize that what's for me is for me. Hold on, I don't actually want the camera to die on us, so give me 2 seconds. Okay. Sorry, guys. I had to get us together for a minute. Yeah, so for me, negative self-talk was an issue for me. And then once I started the spiritual journey as far as the healing process and things like that, I then realized that negative self-talk showed up in many different areas in my life. It showed up with how I treat my home, whether or not I clean up, or whether I feel like I want to have a nice space, or how long it took me to acquire things in my home that I needed, such as furniture, food, or toiletries and things like that. And the negative self-talk showed up in my life as far as how I reacted to people that that were just doing better than me, or what I thought was better than me in life, or how I showed up to jobs, and whether or not I cared about going into work and things of that nature, or just having this human experience altogether. Like, negative self-talk showed up in so many areas of my life, in my relationships, and how I felt that people needed, how I was used to or expected people to treat me in my relationships, and how I just let the bare minimum be done, or lack thereof, lack of effort, because I felt like I wasn't going to get it anyway. I'm not going to deserve it, so I shouldn't expect it. But now I'm in a space where I know what I'm giving myself. I know I deserve more. I know I deserve better. I may not be in a space where other people may feel it, but for me, I know I'm not accepting anything less than at least what I give myself. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm not speaking negatively on myself, I'm not going to allow someone else to do it in front of me, because I'm now paying attention to who I surround myself by. And I'm not going to surround myself by people that have negative self-talk, because I'm no longer in that space. So that's how you then protect your energy and protect your space and protect your mindset, is by then surrounding yourself with what you want to see. You know what I'm saying? So I'm now realizing that how I treat myself is the fundamental basis and baseline of where someone else that wants to be a part of my life has to treat me, and also has to treat themselves too. So if I like how someone treats themselves, I want to be around that, because I want to be around that type of energy, so that I can then learn how to then treat myself, or what I could be doing more, and what I could be doing better for myself. So that's where I was at. And for me, it did take shadow work. It did take, journaling. It did take, crying and feeling my feelings and validating the feelings. Because a lot of times people feel like, oh, my feelings don't matter. My thoughts doesn't matter. Nobody cares what I say. But you should. You are the first person to hear the words that you're speaking. So what are you saying? You know what I'm saying? You are the first one to hear your thoughts before you ever speak them out to anybody else. So what are you thinking? What do you think about yourself? What do you think about the world around you? And realize your responses, because you are what you think you are. As a man thinketh, so he is, right? And that's where the law of attraction also comes in as well. So that's just a briefie about at least my experience throughout spirituality, and wanting to bring some dialogue and conversation about you all's experiences. For those of y'all that participated on my Instagram, again, very appreciative of you guys. So I wanted to bring some dialogue and conversation to the platform about it. But hopefully this video has kind of given you guys a little bit of insight about, other people's struggles within their spiritual journey, and what's the hardest part for them, as well as myself, starting the spiritual journey or starting the healing journey and things like that. So what I would tell you guys in conclusion would be, follow your discernment. Definitely follow your discernment. What feels right for you is going to feel right for you. Like I said, everything isn't for everybody, but what's for you is for you. Don't worry about what other people are doing. You got to worry about you, okay? Definitely take some time to yourself. Definitely, okay? If you don't take nothing else, definitely take some time apart from other people and shut out the world, so that you can only hear your thoughts and feel your feelings, and really deal and focus with you, okay? Spiritual journey is a journey. You're not going to get there. It's not a road trip. It's definitely a journey. You're going to always evolve. You're going to meet new people, because then you very well may be the help someone else needs, right? You may be that testimony for somebody else. You may be that mentor for somebody else. You may be that success story for someone else. So keep doing what you're doing, because you never know who you're inspiring. You never know who's looking at you, or, who's wanting you to assist them within their journey, because a lot of the times that's what we're here to do, is ascend ourselves as well as ascend other people, right? So I really hope this video gave you guys, like I said, some type of insight or clarity to know that you are not alone in this journey. It is not always sunshine, cookies, and rainbows, Palo Santo and sage everywhere in people's spiritual journeys. People still do have their struggles, and people did struggle when beginning the journey. So you are not alone. You're not by yourself. There's so many of us out here like that, and we want to support you. We want to be there and encourage you along on your journey. So follow me on Instagram, where you can have that community that will support you. If you guys here in the comment section have some more insights, if there's things that I didn't touch on, or there were some things that other people didn't mention that I didn't mention here in the video, definitely put them in the comment section so I can make like a part 2 and we can make this a thing. But you're amazing, and you're doing everything that you need to. You are right on time. There is no rush, okay? Trust your process. Go at your own pace, because healing is not for the weak. The spiritual journey is not for the weak, because you are going to learn so many things about yourself and realize that there were so many things that hurt you, so many things that triggered you, and so many things that held you back that you didn't even realize. So take your time. You are awesome. You are amazing. You are doing your very best, and I am so proud of you for even checking out this video, starting, or even wanting to consider your spiritual journey. Okay? So I hope this video helped you. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video, tell your cousins to come over and kick it with a player, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.